Are you going to give me details?
I'm not, because you keep talking. This is an unlawful arrest.
Welcome to the Cops News. Over here, we break down encounters between the public and the police. We examine the law, the conduct, and the context so you know your rights, their responsibilities, and where the line is drawn. Thanks to Matt for letting us cover and break down this police audit. Make sure to subscribe to his channel and like his videos. His link is in the description below. In this episode, Auditor Matt is standing near a speed camera van, calmly filming and photographing passing vehicles, a perfectly lawful activity in a public place. That alone triggers a response. Officers approach not to assess risk, but to interrogate, probing for a reason to turn observation into suspicion. With nothing concrete to rely on, questioning slides into control, and control becomes unlawful detention. What follows isn't proactive policing. It's authorities scrambling to justify interference with something it never had grounds to stop.
Been all right.
Recording us now, yeah?
Recording everything.
Oh, right, great. You've been following around now, haven't you, mate?
Following him.
And doing this on here now. Could be classed as harassment, could it?
No, he can't. Does he work for the police?
He works for the PCC, so he's working on behalf of the police, yeah. So he's allowed to park where he needs to park. In fact, he's in actually a designated police space doing his job.
Oh, is that not a police officer for part there?
He's working on behalf of the police. Just said that.
Right, so what? He can't be harassed on duty.
Pretty not.
No.
So people can't harass anybody who's doing a job, not.
Not if I'm taking videos and pictures, no.
But why are you taking pictures and videos of it?
Right, I'm not, I'm doing pictures and videos of the cars.
You're clearly doing it to try and prevent him and intimidate whatever he's doing, aren't you?
Intimidate?
But you're doing it on Walney.
I don't intimidate people with the camera.
Why's you coming down and standing in front of his camera like this?
I'm filming the traffic.
Right, no you're not filming.
I am filming the traffic. I am filming. You can. I've got it on here.
For obstructing somebody on behalf.
I'd love to see that. That would be
They open with a loaded accusation, claiming Matt is following the speed camera van and harassing the operator, even though there's no interaction beyond a camera pointed at a public operation. Matt shuts that down immediately, pointing out the obvious. The man in the van isn't a police officer and isn't entitled to special protection for being filmed while working in public. Harassment doesn't exist just because someone feels uncomfortable on duty. And filming doesn't become intimidation because an officer says the word. That's where the threat appears. An officer starts floating arrest for obstruction, not because Matt is blocking, interfering, or engaging with anyone, but because his filming is inconvenient. Obstruction is being used here as a scare tactic, not a lawful charge, which is why it's never properly explained or applied.
An unlawful arrest that I would make sure there's a private prosecution against you for that.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll go to jail.
Well, I guess I'll go to jail as well.
Listen, you're doing it on...
I'm not doing it to it. How can I intimidate him with a camera?
Prevent him to do his job.
It's not preventing or intimidating. You said intimidating.
You're trying to prevent him.
I'm not intimidating him.
His normal duty to do his job.
Why are you shaking?
That's what you're trying to do.
Why are you shaking?
I'm not shaking, I'm just doing this.
You're shaking?
Yeah, I'm not shaking, am I? Right, listen mate. Did you get your details taken before?
No. I'm not intimidating you. You are accusing him of intimidating.
Intend to intimidate anybody or not.
So you can get arrested for accidentally intimidating someone.
You're going to listen to what I'm saying?
Go on, yeah.
Because you're taping me, so you get it on camera, then you'll have it for future reference. If you're trying to tape in front of him while he's trying to do his job, he can find that intimidating, regardless of whether you find that you're intimidating or not. It doesn't matter what your intentions are.
I'm after nice cars, etc.
Matt, raising private prosecution, is the moment the mask slips instead of confidence or clarity. The response is flippant. Piss, I'll go to jail. That isn't bravery. It's contempt for accountability. It's said out loud because the officer doesn't expect consequences to be real. And from there, the justification starts wobbling. First, it's intimidating the operator. Then, it quietly shifts to preventing him from doing his job, as if changing the wording might suddenly create authority. What they never do because they can't is explain how a camera prevents anything. No blocking, no engagement, no interference, no instruction ignored, just filming from a public space. The allegation exists only in language, not reality. And that's why it keeps changing, because when there's no offense underneath, the story has to keep moving to survive.
That you went over Walney when he was over Walney doing his job.
I was doing...
looking for nice cars over there, and now you stand right in front of his vehicle and he's trying to do his job again.
Excuse...
just to look for nice cars in the same place.
Right.
Very bizarre, my friend, very bizarre.
For a first start, get your facts right. I wasn't looking for nice cars down there. I was doing photography of the mountains, etc. So
right by his van.
Down there. That is, he parks right in front of them.
Right by his van.
He parks right in front of them.
Bizarre.
Don't be ridiculous.
Absolutely bizarre.
Well, bizarre is not a crime.
No, you're right, it's not.
Bizarre is not a crime.
But preventing somebody from doing their job,
I'm not preventing him.
intimidating them is a crime.
I'm not preventing him. He can move on to the next spot and make no mistake. I know he can. I'm just saying, well, I can stay here and work. You can't be intimidated by someone taking a picture.
What we are saying to you is, this gentleman who's trying to do his job feels intimidated because you've been over there doing whatever you're doing with your camera, taking pictures by him.
Yeah.
And then you come here when he's trying to do his job as well. It's like you're following him.
You've
got to appreciate how he perceives that.
Right, I understand that, but that's like a two-thing coincidence. It's like just a coincidence. I'm telling you now, it's a coincidence. Yeah. You cannot be intimidated by some.
I do believe in coincidences, don't get me wrong.
Well, there you go.
I completely agree in coincidences, but this is...
So you can't arrest me on suspicion of a coincidence. It's ridiculous.
What gives this exchange away is how desperate the character building becomes. One moment, Matt's supposedly hunting for nice cars. The next, he's being framed as some kind of stalker. Neither claim tied to anything he's actually doing. Matt stepping in to say he's photographing the mountains isn't a defense. It's a reality check. At that point, the officer isn't observing conduct. He's inventing motives. Calling it bizarre is the final fallback when nothing else sticks. And Matt's reply lands because it exposes the truth. Personal opinion doesn't create jurisdiction. The real problem is the leap they keep trying to make without a bridge. Words like preventing and intimidating get repeated like magic. But there's no act connecting a camera to either outcome. Coincidence is being dressed up as intent. Same road, same van, therefore suspicion.
Got plenty of pictures of just normal vehicles going down here.
You'd be best off parked outside the police station.
You just said you come out. Hang on, I'm just speaking to someone. I'm not. You just said
we don't mind you doing that outside.
All right, you said that it's be intimidation.
No, I said we ain't going to get intimidated by it.
Right, I'm with you. Right.
You've tipped it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
And if I didn't say that, that's what I meant.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Stand on the side of the bloody police station and go, I'm just taping police vehicles coming out of here with the blue lights and sirens on. People do that all the time. I do it myself. We're not bothered by that. But this gentleman here is not working for the police in the sense that we are. He doesn't wear the equipment that we wear. So say you were to be a Nancy person who was to get upset with us, move to the porch and maybe get into a scuffle with someone, because that happens, doesn't it, for cops?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's going to happen to you. A gentleman like this guy here who's just doing his job with no protection.
You've had a word with me. You know what I'm doing. You know that I'm no threat. I will empty my pockets for you. I'll empty my pockets. I've got nothing on me other than a camera. There's no reason for him to feel intimidated. It's ridiculous.
What they fall back on is the weakest justification of all. The operator doesn't have protection. So he feels uneasy. That isn't a policing issue. It is a job reality, and it's telling they reach for it only after every other angle collapses. The operator isn't being approached, blocked, spoken to, or interfered with. He's sitting in a van doing a public F-facing role, while being filmed from a distance. Matt explaining who he is and why he's there doesn't resolve it, because the problem was never his conduct. It was a decision to treat someone else's discomfort as a risk. His frustration spilling over is revealing. He even offers to empty his pockets to prove he's no threat, a suggestion that shouldn't exist in a lawful encounter. When a citizen feels a need to prove innocence just to end a baseless standoff, the process has already failed.
Every time he opens his window, or when he opens it, you put your camera right in front, preventing him going about his lawful duty.
I've spoke to the last person.
So I need full details, please, because I'm going to report you for offence of reporting of obstructing officer in the unlawful execution of his duty. Okay.
I'm not
to do that. I'm
not.
Report you for summons, so I need to get your details.
I have not put it up to his window.
He says different, so I've got to go on.
Right. Well, I haven't done it.
I need full details, please.
No.
Right.
If you want to unlawfully detain me, unlawfully arrest me, I have not done it.
So I explain to you. I need to report you for an offence for summons. Okay. To do that, I need your name and address.
Yeah.
Right. If you don't do that, if I'm going to have to arrest you, take to the police station, and I'll get your details from there.
Right, well that'll be an unlawful arrest, because I'm not doing anything. I've not filmed here, I've not gone up to his thing or anything. I'm stood here, I'm taking pictures.
Listen,
if he said I've gone up to him...
Yeah, that's what I said. You've been going, when he's up in the hatch,
yeah.
you're going up there, with your camera in front
No,
of
I'm
the
not
house.
going up in front of the hatch.
Preventing him from
I'm
going
stood
about
here.
his
I've not
lawfully.
gone past here, and it's on here.
This is where the threat crosses from bluff into misuse of power. The officer suddenly claims he needs Matt's details for obstructing an officer on duty. Except the person he's supposedly obstructing isn't an officer at all. He's a civilian operator. That distinction matters. Obstruction powers don't extend to anyone in H-high near enforcement equipment. And you can't obstruct an officer by filming a third party who isn't one. Blurring that line is either ignorance or deliberate misrepresentation. The follow-up threat makes it worse. When Matt doesn't give his details, the officer says they'll arrest him, take him to the station, and get them there. That isn't procedure, it's coercion. Arrest isn't a tool for harvesting personal information when no offense exists.
I'm going on what he's saying, that he can't do his job, because what you're doing, okay?
Right.
And I'm going to report you for summons, but I need to get your details to do that. If you refuse to give me your details, then I will have to arrest you. That's how I
Arrest me for what?
For,
To ascertain your details.
no, that's
You
it.
can't arrest someone to ascertain the
I'm
details.
arresting you for obstructing somebody, an officer or someone who works for the police, while going about their lawful duties. You're obstructing them. That's
I'm
what we're
not.
arresting you for.
I have not done that.
We're
Just
going backwards
because
and forwards with this, aren't we?
He's-
I'm explaining to you, that's what we're going to do.
he's obviously
So I need your
angry
full
because I'm
details.
taking pictures of the cars, etc., going past. That is all I'm doing. And just because he's accused me of that, you cannot arrest me without reasonable suspicion.
Listen. I'll explain to you. I spoke to him. I want to report you for obstructing somebody, this officer going about his lawful execution.
He's not an officer.
Listen, he's working.
Is he an officer?
Is
he an
He's an
officer?
employee of the police going about his lawful
Right,
duty.
okay, but is he an officer? Can you answer that?
Well,
Is he an officer?
he's an employee of the police.
Is he an officer?
Listen, not
I'm
a police
asking you a
officer,
question.
no.
This is where the bias becomes explicit. The officer openly admits he's acting solely on what the operator says, dismissing Matt's account because the operator works for the police. That is an assessment. It's difference. Employment status isn't credibility. And it certainly isn't evidence. When the arrest threat follows, it unravels in real time. Asked, arrest me for what? The first answer is to ascertain your details. That's not an offense. It's an administrative aim. Realizing the problem. They pivot to obstructing an officer only for Matt to point out the fatal flaw. The operator isn't one. The justification keeps shifting because none exists. This isn't lawful escalation. It's improvisation after the decision to arrest was already made.
Right, so why did you call him an officer? Why did you call him one?
Right, mate. Are you going to give me your details?
I'm not, because you keep talking. This
arresting you.
is an unlawful arrest. Oh, just got out the police station. They've fingerprinted me. Took all my details. They were reasonable with us. Can't say they were giving me any hassle, abuse. They just processed us fairly and squarely. Still think I was unlawfully arrested. I'm going to look into that.
The arrest is the final proof this was never about law. It was about control. By that point, every justification had collapsed under basic questioning. So, the only option left was physical authority. Grabbing Matt and taking him to the station wasn't a response to a clear offense. It was a moment officers decided compliance would be achieved by custody when it couldn't be achieved by words. Processing him didn't legitimize the arrest. It just formalized a decision already made without proper grounds. Charging it as obstructing police staff whilst on duty exposes the sleight of hand. Obstruction powers aren't a catch-all for anyone linked to policing, and they don't exist to shield civilian operators from public observation. Filming from a distance isn't interference, and discomfort isn't prevention. Stretching obstruction to fit a civilian role wasn't enforcement. It was invention built after the fact to justify the arrest. And that's the most damning part. This wasn't a bad stop that escalated. It was an arrest built backwards from irritation, loyalty, and refusal to accept lawful scrutiny. When officers are willing to cuff someone, take them to a station, and criminalize filming simply because they ran out of patience, it stops being a mistake. It becomes a warning not about public behavior, but about what happens when you refuse to stop watching. If you found value in this breakdown, make sure you like the video, share it, and subscribe to support the channel. and help keep this kind of accountability in the spotlight. I'm the Cops News. This was episode 6. See you guys later.